Now, I told y'all be lying. Y'all be lying all day in boxing in the comment section. What am I talking about? I am so glad that you asked. I ran a poll because I wanted to hear from you, the fans of boxing, in a mythical potential fight, if you will, who you would favor, Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. And I did this 3 days ago because I wanted to let the poll run a couple of days so we had as many people who were going to vote in that period of time. So instead of just immediately doing it after a couple hours, I decided to wait, right? I just want you to know that what the poll was reading, it was reading from the beginning, right? And it just kept getting worse and worse. On the screen, you will see I ask, who wins Gervonta Davis versus Devin Haney if they fought next? Vote below. An overwhelming percentage, 88%, picked Gervonta Tank Davis by either TKO or knockout. And then when it came to Devin Haney knocking out Tank, only 2%, 2% like milk, 2% like milk, picked Devin Haney. 3%. So a higher percentage felt that Tank could win via decision. But the biggest statistic is Tank by knockout. And then finally rounding it out is 7% of you guys believe that Devin Haney would decision a guy like Gervonta Davis if they were to fight next. Wow. So Ego Polls is back, and the crowd, they have spoken. Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. Tank by knockout. That's what most of you guys picked. I mean, I knew it was going to probably read like that because I know boxing fans be lying. But then, see, the reason I know is because you'll see like Haney comments, and then when it comes down to it, if they were to fight next, or if Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney were to rematch next, right? No matter what people are saying in the comment section, when it comes to the sports book, they're not going to bet their money unless they really believe what they're saying. And that's what I've seen throughout boxing over the course of over 10 years in this sport. People will blabber and chatter and, do a bunch of chatty patty and leave free comments, but they're not going to bet as they are commenting, meaning the stuff they're saying in the comments, they would not wager real money on what they're saying because they're not confident. They don't even really believe what they're saying. Now, the difference is when Boxing Ego say something, I really mean it. Now, we've seen Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney in sparring. The clips got leaked, and, people judge that. Some people were like, oh, but Devin was young. I mean, but you can't have it just one way. Although Devin was young, Tank was unsigned, hadn't been a champion, and had just came off a plane and wasn't even in fight shape. Adrian Broner told you that. So it's like, we seen what we seen, and we seen Devin Haney retreating, and it is what it is. People can get mad at this, but again, I don't have any way to rig the poll. So this is what you guys felt. And 88% of the people picking Tank by knockout is vicious. And I think Tank's leftovers, Ryan Garcia, has a bit of something to do with that as well, because he exposed vulnerabilities. Unfortunately for Devin, the fight happened. Despite Ryan testing positive after, you still went through the car crash. Doesn't matter who the insurance sides with, so to speak. You already went through it. It's too late. We all watched it. In a perfect world, yeah, it would have been better if Ryan tested positive or had ostarine in his system and they caught it before, and then the fight never happened. But I don't live in a, quote, perfect world. I live in the real world. And the real world is Ryan fought you and you were very susceptible to the left hook. Now, when you think about a Tank Davis fight, who's a southpaw with power in both hands, he is setting the ultimate traps. Guys really can't take his power. You know, he's fighting bigger guys almost each time out, outside of Isak, Pitbull Cruz. It's kind of hard to imagine that Devin Haney would best him right now. And then, you know, I don't know that the fight would even happen because Tank is clearly the A side and Devin is now at welterweight. So Tank is not going to fight at Devin, the B side, his preferred weight. So I think fans will likely have to settle for it being a fantasy fight and or Haney fighting Ryan Garcia possibly in a rematch. But, you know, I wanted to pose the question because I wanted to. And I do what I want on my channel. And you guys do what y'all want and y'all voted. And most of you guys said Tank by knockout. So it's so funny. I put out a tweet talking about how Tank and, you know, a lot of fighters are envious of the power he possesses, his influence on the game and stuff. And it got a lot of interactions and reactions and comments and did 500,000 views. It did like 500K on Twitter, you know, so we're doing numbers and I get paid on Twitter. So that tells you something. So I like it. I love when you guys engage with my content because I'm going to get paid. So anyway, nobody proved me wrong. And to me, this just proves that you guys are liars because all that fake Tank hate, oh, nobody wants to see the Lamont Roach fight and stuff like that. And then I have a preview of his ticket sales and his tickets are selling well. You know what I mean? Or you got the Haniacs who will be all in the video, all in the comment section like, man, Tank, he'll get bodied. Devin is way too good, blah, blah, blah. But then when I run the poll and boxing fans have the choice and I gave them all kinds of different options, you know, Devin decision, Tank decision, Devin knockout. None of you guys really had faith. 2% like milk. 2% believe that Devin would knock out Tank. And then 88 by knockout for Tank is crazy. And, you know, if people don't like my poll, sue me. You know, so be it. I didn't vote. You know, as a content creator, you can't vote on your own poll. So at the end of the day, run your own poll if you think the results are going to be different. I don't. You know, I think that's the public speaking. So I don't really worry about it. Fans are going to be fans. They're going to talk trash and say whatever they want. But the real recognize real. And the public has now spoken. 88% of y'all thought Tank by knockout. So I don't really care about all these other comments about, man, Devin was young when he sparred and stuff like that. Because I asked the question if they fought next in 2025. And an overwhelming amount of you picked Tank. So take that to the bank.